Hey everyone, welcome to the Rachel Michaelov podcast. Today, I would love to introduce you to a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Dr. Frida.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here, Rachel. It's really a pleasure to be here. We go way back at this point, and I know we hang out all the time, but I also really value your business acumen and
Thank you.
Your ability to be the most you are really the biggest businesswoman that I've ever had a chance to meet. You have your goals straight out. You know exactly what you want to do in life. And I find that so inspiring about you.
Thank you so much. You are as inspiring to me as well. I love your beautiful energy and a lot of your wisdom to help a lot of people. And I'm going to share my personal story a little later today, but you've done, massive changes to the community already. And I can't wait for you to do the same to nationwide. I really believe that you're going to go big, Dr. Frida. You're amazing. And I really mean it, which is why you're one of the first people on my podcast. And I only will bring people here that I truly believe in. I'm actually going to share a personal story. Months ago, I didn't have a lot of energy, and I went to my doctor, and, I don't like taking pills or just like, medication, right, from just anyone. And I remember coming to you, and the first thing you said is, let me see your blood results, which is how I know that you are an expert at what you do. Because how are you going to diagnose any client without looking at the details? So, right. So you were able to review my blood work and you said, okay, these are the things that you need. You gave me a lot of vitamins, and I was like, you need vitamin B, you need vitamin. I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know anything about health. And I said, you know what, in order for me to be successful in my business, I need to have enough energy to produce in my business, right? Because health and wealth really goes together. And I said, perfect. I said, Dr. Frida, give me the right vitamins so I could re-energize myself. And people ask me all the time, how do I go to the gym at 10 p.m. at night? How do I go to the gym at 11 o'clock at night? And I say, guys, you need what Dr. Frida prescribes.
Yeah, you send me a lot of people.
Yes, like Dr. Frida's amazing. Yes.
And they say, give me what you gave Rachel.
Really? That's so funny.
Rachel. And I say, well, but you're not Rachel. You have your own body, your own biochemistry. And we have to see what it is you need, because what they might need is not exactly that you need, obviously. And yeah, I do agree. Your health is your wealth. They say that a healthy person has so many wishes, has so many dreams, so many needs, but a person that's not healthy only has one.
Right.
And to get their health back, a lot of people, they wait for something really bad to happen in order to come and do something about their health. But the best thing to do is take care of your health when you're already healthy.
That's right.
Because a lot of people take their health for granted.
Mm-hmm.
They think that, oh, I'm healthy, I'm fine, let me go do this. And they ignore signals, like quiet whispers of their body, the fatigue, right, that you were experiencing.
Right. Yes.
The brain fog,
yes.
the ability to really focus and think. They ignore those little whispers,
mm-hmm.
and they wait until those whispers become
right.
big
mm-hmm.
screams
right.
of their body, and then they take action. But I'll tell you sometimes, and I hope a lot of people that have already gone to that point, obviously,
mm-hmm.
but I'll tell you sometimes it is too late. It is too late to go the natural route. And people, it's called a deterioration phase.
Mm-hmm.
And people at that point, they can no longer use a natural medicine. They have to take pharmaceuticals.
Wow.
And that's why I tell people there are a lot of people that I do turn away,
mm-hmm.
and they say, you are no longer able to work with me because of, you're already, you have a heart condition. You're on blood thinners, or you are not at the place where natural medicine can bring you back unless we work together steadily for maybe 5-6 years. And that's really hard for people to understand and take. So I say, if you are in a place that, you are still good, but you hear little whispers from your body, maybe a backache or that brain fog, or, something coming out on your skin that you're starting to notice, don't ignore it. I always say you need to take care of it before it gets to the point
100%.
where you have to take pharmaceuticals, because the body, it doesn't yell at you right away.
It's true.
You know,
Tony Robbins says, don't wait for the problem to be a monster or Godzilla, and then you're running to the doctor begging for help.
Yeah.
Do it when you're healthy. And that's so true. That's beautiful. That's such wisdom out right there. I think a lot of people don't realize it until they have an issue.
Yeah. And they come to me and they're like, but I'm fine. Why are you giving me this stuff? The people are, it's what's funny to me, Rachel, is, you know, people are afraid to take natural remedies because they were just never even taught about it. They weren't taught about having, I mean, it's funny to me because some people ask me, oh, when did this come around? I say, well, before Western medicine. You know what I mean?
Right.
This has been around for years before Western medicine. And then pharmaceuticals came about and people started getting quick results from pharmaceuticals. However, those pharmaceuticals are there just to cure. They're not even there to cure. They are there to help the symptoms, but they never get down to the root cause, unfortunately. And a lot of people, they think, okay, well, you know, pharmaceuticals are here. These medical doctors are prescribing them. They obviously know what they're doing, right?
Right.
And I'll tell you the truth is, and I do not blame any medical doctors, but a lot of times they don't know what they're doing, and not because they're bad providers, but because they don't have the tools. They were never taught. The institutions don't teach a lot of these things. You have to, as a medical provider, as a doctor, you have to constantly work on your skill. You have to constantly learn. You have to constantly do research, take courses, take classes. And a lot of doctors don't have the ability to do that because they are so stuck in their practice. They are so stuck seeing the Medicaid and Medicare patients. They just don't have the energy to work on anything afterwards.
100%. I've seen that.
Yeah. And you know what it is? I think that if doctors took a step back and they actually charged their prices and had people pay them what they were happy with, then they would have time to see less patients, but give their patients their all.
That's right.
You know, give their patients their heart. Instead of trying to see those 30, 40 patients a day and not being able to give those patients what they need. And to me, each and every single client is like a gem. If I take up working with you, I think it's so important to give you my all. And I know you're like that too.
Yes.
You give so much value. I actually want to share something. Me and Rachel, we haven't even started to work together yet in terms of taxes, in terms of her being my accountant. She will be soon. However, we have not started working yet together because she has certain needs before she takes on a client. She is very picky about who she takes on.
I will always take you though. You're amazing.
And I am waiting to get to that point when we officially open up our dental and wellness practice in Bayside in France, on Francis Lewis. Then we will start working together. But before that, Rachel, I came up to her just as a friend because I got taxed a lot in 2023, and I came up to you just asking you, Rachel, can you do something about this? And you got me back so much money within 20 minutes. I don't know. I don't know how you have such access to the IRS. I myself,
not that hard.
I myself was shocked. And the fact that you provided me so much value before you even had a chance to start working with me. I mean, that's just amazing to me.
Thank you.
To me, that's everything.
Thank you.
And that's the kind of person that I want to continue working with.
I love doing it. I truly enjoy helping business owners. This is what drives me. And I think I told you, like, my father didn't have that special connection with his accountant, and he got taxed over $1 million in taxes. And that's where my story comes from. Like, I wanted to make sure that every business comes to me, I'm able to give them a lot of value. I'm able to take care of them. And just like you, I don't want to take every single client. I'm not looking to be a doctor that takes Medicaid patients and there's like 45 people in the waiting room.
You can't help them all.
Exactly. I can't help them all. And I want to like be really intentional about every client that comes to the door. And what you said was actually wisdom when you said you can't take on every single client, and you kind of like reject them if you can't help them. We have the same exact process. Every single client that comes to us, I have a COO who's amazing, and she interviews every client to make sure, are we able to help them? Is there, can we deliver the results that they're looking for? And we ask them, what exactly are you looking from this relationship? Yes, you want to get your taxes done. Yes, you want to get your bookkeeping done. But what are your other goals? We have a client in Florida, who he's an e-commerce seller, and his goal is to buy his mom a home. And that touched my heart. I was like, oh my God, okay, I'll help you with your bookkeeping, your payroll and taxes, but let's also help your mom get the home of her dreams. And I'm like, that's beautiful. I wish I could do that for my parents,
Reminds me of something that Tony Robbins did.
Yes, exactly. I think, I remember someone doing it. Or he gave the keys to his mom. I don't remember who it was, but that's the goal that I want to help, business owners. Or if somebody wants to retire early because they want to spend more time with their kids. But again, there are people that retire early because they don't have the proper energy and they need proper supplements so they could be healthy. And at the same time, they need to make sure that they're saving money on taxes so they have enough money and energy to retire early.
100%.
Because nobody wants to work till 60, 70 years old. If you want to, you can. I know I personally will. I will never stop working. I will work until 100. But I
think that's what makes you, because
right.
A lot of people, I think the people that actually have the mindset of retiring and don't want to do a lot, they don't really get far, because
right.
Their mindset is, oh, I'm just doing this to retire, but they won't give it their all. The people that love to actually do what they're doing, right. They give it their all, and it's really not about the money.
Right. It's not.
It's not about the money. It's about the feeling,
the impact.
Yes, the purpose, the impact. And I've said this before, but what I'm doing is not by accident. A lot of people, they ask me, oh, you went to, dental school, you put in so much work, you've paid so many loans. Like, how are you not in the dental realm right now? And even though we are working on opening up a dental practice, right? Because that's what you're working with, dentistry. And that's why she's not my accountant yet.
Yes.
But because I'm only in the wellness area right now. And she's more so that's her new niche.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is that I think that to me, even though I put in so much work, that doesn't detract from what I'm currently doing, because I have that Western medicine education, I can think clearly, because I have nothing against Western medicine, right? I think Western medicine is a gift to the world. I think it's a gift to society. I think that, there are times when we need that antibiotic because a person can, God forbid, die. Or, when my father was having his heart surgery, his open heart surgery, he needed to get those steroids, and he needed to get antibiotic to make sure that he was going to stay alive. And, I'm so grateful to Western medicine. However, I do think it's being abused a little bit in our society, because people are not understanding that really your body is such a magical machine, and your body has so much potential to heal itself. There is no one in the world that can heal you. No doctor, there's no healer that can heal you. You can heal yourself by just doing the right thing with your body, by understanding your body, by listening to it. And that's where I come in. I really just help people unleash their own ability to heal themselves, to actually understand that their body is this magical machine, as I said, that it can heal itself. And it comes from the time that my son, he had asthma when he was 2 years old. And just the fear of constantly giving him steroids. I was already in the medical field, right? So I understood the steroids and the albuterol. I understood how small his liver was, constantly giving him that epinephrine, constantly giving him those steroids, what it would do to his mind, what it would do to his liver, what it would do to his immune system. And to me, I thought, oh my God, I cannot do this to my child. But my parents, they kind of went through a similar thing. My brother, when he was a kid, he had asthma. And so what my parents did, I don't think I ever shared that story with you, so I'll tell you. What my parents did is they moved to Arizona because my mom's parents lived there. So to them, it was kind of an okay thing to do. They decided to move to Arizona, to a dry area. And that's why I grew up there.
Oh, wow.
I came back here 12 years later, So when I moved back here, I knew that I wasn't going to go back there.
Right.
to me, that was not an option. Even though it was a dry climate, I never thought of, okay, I'm going to pick up and move to a different state to help my child. And I knew I did not want to give him medication. I did not want to put him on steroids. And so I think I manifested a different way.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Without even knowing natural medicine that it existed, I manifested it. And so I started looking for different routes, different ways to help my son. And I fell upon, natural medicine.
Right.
And I'll tell you, like, it's really amazing that within 2 years, and I'm not saying it was 1, 2, 3, it was fast. The body takes time to heal itself, but within 2 years, my son did not even know what albuterol was anymore.
Wow.
Within maybe 2 months, my son didn't know what steroids was.
Wow.
So
that's magical.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And so this is what, then I realized that this is something that I'm really passionate about, because even though dentistry was always my passion, that's why I went into it. I remember even when I was in dental school, my friends, they were miserable being in dental school, but I wasn't, because I really enjoyed, I was so grateful and blessed to be there. I had extreme gratitude to be there, especially that there was a 45-minute drive and I listened to Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, in my drives.
I think that's how we connected. I was like, oh my gosh, she's my girl. As soon as you said that, I'm like, yo, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. So I was always coming in there pumped, and everybody would ask me, oh, how are you doing? And I said, I am doing amazing. I'm doing great. Imagine listening to Jim Rohn or Tony Robbins for 45 minutes, how pumped you get. And you come in there with all of this energy, and everybody's like, girl, this girl's crazy. She has a newborn baby. I had my second child 2 months. Not 2 months, sorry, 2 weeks. I'll correct that, before I started dental school. And I had my toddler too. So when I was in school, and people were asking me, how are you so alive? How are you so
I would be asking you that too. That's for sure.
How are you doing this? But I'm telling you, it's the mindset. Right. It's the mindset, me constantly listening to these different podcasts, me listening to these YouTube videos, to these different audibles, right?
Inspiration.
Such a big difference. And I know you're really big. I am. Tell me about yourself. What's your journey like in that sense?
So I went to Tony Robbins like a few years ago. And then I remember one year, I think it was like 2016, I bought every single Jim Rohn CD and book out there. Like, I bought everything. And for 1 year, I studied everything. Like, I watched every YouTube video. I could even repeat what Tony Robbins says, or Jim Rohn. And I could, when Tony Robbins mentions Jim Rohn, I could just say, yep, that's from Jim Rohn. And
I want to ask you something. I'm going to say a quote, and then I want you to finish it.
Let's see. Okay, let's tell me.
Don't wish it was easier.
Wish you were better.
Yes.
Wish you were better. I love it. And so 2016, I listened to it, and he said, I remember Jim Rohn saying, why don't you just be a millionaire? Like, why not? Like, if you're working so hard, why don't you just be a millionaire? I'm like, you know what? Fine. And because of Jim Rohn, he inspired me to be a millionaire. And I don't know anyone that was making $1 million, especially a woman in our community.
100%.
No one.
I really don't know anyone.
I was all alone.
Right. Because we have that great mindset. And a lot of times when you come off to me telling me we'll make millions, what do I say?
We're making billions. Billions. Yeah. Forget it.
And to me, money is just energy. Right. Money is it's a reciprocity. It's really just energy. And I think that if you are a practitioner, if you are any type of professional, and you charge what you want, what your heart desires, right, you will be the most successful.
I agree.
And it's because you do it with such pleasure, right? You give people things with such energy, with such love, with such pleasure, because they are paying you what it is you're asking them,
right?
And exactly. They're paying it to you with love, which is why I never worry. I give people payment plans. I don't run after them. I don't tell them, when are you going to pay me? That, right? It's because I trust that if they want that good energy, they're going to reciprocate, right? Yep. Especially with health. Your health is so important.
You're helping them. At the end of the day, you're helping them.
Right. And so I think that because that money, that exchange of energy, it feeds your family, it feeds your dreams, it feeds your philanthropic goals, right? Being able to help people. I love the ability to not have to worry about saying, okay, I can send out some funds to, feed a family.
Exactly.
Or because I have so much gratitude that God gives, that I think that it's so important to give back.
100%. Me too.
About that?
I actually love giving people, and I love helping people. And I think what you were just saying, that I used to, back in like, I don't know, I've been in business for like 19 years, and years ago, I would prepare over like maybe like 1,200 returns. Imagine tax returns. I was exhausted. I did not charge my proper fee because I thought I was young, and I didn't think,
right?
Exactly, like who would pay me, and so many people were just so happy with our services. But I was like, 1,200, like 1,000, over 1,000 returns was getting draining. It was getting exhausting, and I wasn't charging enough. So as a result, I wasn't able to pay my team enough, right? Because it doesn't make sense for me to be at a loss. And I was like, you know what, this is not working out. Now our prices are higher, and people are even more happier with our services, but maybe we do like a couple of hundred returns. It's not that many, because I'm not in like the quantity business. I'm in quality,
exactly.
right? And
quality is everything.
Exactly. And we work with bigger businesses and do consistent like monthly bookkeeping, payroll, sales tax, their corporate returns, like their entire accounting. Instead of them paying, let's say, $50K a year to an accountant, they pay us about, let's say, $750 to $1,000 a month on an approximate basis. And we do everything for them. And because of that, I'm able to hire qualified CPAs, accountants. And if an email comes in, we respond the same day. If somebody wants to talk to me, I say, yeah, sure. I don't have 1,000 clients that I need to work with to support my company. We work with less people to make sure we charge them. Exactly. And that's why, like you said before, if we're unable to help them, we tell them. I don't take on every single client. I need to make sure that it's an even exchange. I'm able to support them. I'm able to help them. And, the number one thing, honestly, is to help clients save money in taxes.
100%. So I don't know about you, but even if I can't help somebody, I always try to lead them in a direction that somebody can help them.
Right.
Or maybe give them, like, suggest something to them that would possibly be helpful,
right,
for them to use, or because I don't want to take them on because I know that for a fact that I'm not going to be able to help them. Right.
We do that too.
You have to know your limitations in business as well. It's really not about the money. It's about giving people the service that they deserve, giving them the value that you promise. Actually, I think it's so important to over deliver for what you promise.
100%.
Right. Because the minute you stop doing that is the minute that, your value just starts.
100%. I believe that. Like when somebody pays us, let's say, $10K a year, I want to make sure that they get at least a $30,000 savings, at least, with money, with time, so they could do other things, and with their energy, so they don't need to think about taxes or accounting. Most CPA firms, they work with, they're solo practitioners. A lot of times they're in the works where they're preparing returns, and most CPA, like, clients come to us and they go, my CPA is not answering my phone calls. My CPA is not answering my emails. We literally have a CPA responding to emails to make sure that I have a CPA in the back end and I have a CPA in the front end to make sure that customer service is number one, and over delivering is so important to me personally, because I don't want people being upset, and I want to make sure people are worth their money. I always tell people, I'm not a charity service. Don't give me your money just like that. Like, I want to make sure that I earn that dollar or whatever it is, and I'm giving them value, and they feel good that they're paying us money. And same thing with you. Like, I paid you money and I'm so happy. I bless you every day. I really do, because you help my kids with the Immunaid. You help my kids with this ginger thing that you gave. I don't know what it is, but we used to go to the hospital, and I'm like, oh my God, now I'm not going to the hospital because of ginger aid. But this Immunaid is amazing.
So, it's funny that you say that you want to save people money when they're paying you. You want to save them 3 times the amount, right? Or max, right? Or more. So it's the same with me. Like this Immunoaid right here, and this is what she's talking about. This Immunoaid right here, it costs $500, but a lot of people don't understand. They say, "Oh my God, it's so expensive," right?
But it's not expensive.
This thing right here, right? I mean, you can say that because you're a multimillionaire.
I guess so. Okay. But health is never
Right,
expensive.
but there are a lot of people out there that don't feel that way because they are trying to pull, they have a budget, I would say, right? And they're trying to pull their family along, which I am totally understanding of. But a lot of people don't understand the magic of something like this, right? And I always explain to them, you're paying $500 for this, which will last you for a long time. Not even that, but you will not see your kids at home. Your kids will be in school. How many parents lose a work days? How many, even if you're not working, even if you're home that day, right? And you take a day off, like, you're losing time for yourself. You're losing that productive time that you can be doing something. Or if you're not feeling well, how much time are you losing? You have to take off of work. You have to, you're laying in your bed suffering with the flu for 5-6 days. When this could have you up and as if you just had a cold within the same day, right?
I still have it.
Yeah, or your kids, they can go to school that same day, because sometimes my kids will wake up in the morning, Mom, I think I'm coughing. Right?
It always happens.
I give this to them. I don't even think about it. I don't even worry. They come home, there's nothing happened.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So I'm just saying that a lot of people don't understand the value. Yes, you invest $500 in this, but that's what it is, an investment. And it's not just to send your kids to school, but like, how many women, and I say woman because I feel it from a mother's point of view, right? You have 5 kids.
Right. Yes. You have 4 beautiful boys.
Yes. You have 5 beautiful boys. So, boy moms.
Yes, exactly.
What I'm saying is, like, how much pain is it when your child is suffering?
I want to stop the world and I want to help them.
Like,
I'll do everything.
Don't you want to like take that pain on yourself?
Of course.
Right?
Of course.
So if you can buy something for them that will help you not see that pain and help them feel good, why not?
It's totally,
it's just common sense, because this, even though it's $500, it repays you tenfold. Most people make that within a day or two, right?
Yeah.
If they're not making so much money,
right?
They make this within a day or two. So the fact that your children and your family is feeling good every single day, it just makes such a massive difference in my eyes.
Right, exactly.
To me personally, it does, because I give it to my kids and I have more time for myself. I have more time for my business. I have more time for the things that I can do for them.
Exactly.
Right? So
that's why health is really the new wealth. It's you can't be wealthy without healthy. And if you can't, and everything we do is for our families and our children. And once our kids are happy, we have that peace of mind that they're in school, they feel good, then I'm able to really go in and build my business, right? If my kids are not feeling good, I'm thinking about them and I'm thinking about my business and I can't really focus and grow.
Exactly. You're scrambled when someone in your family is sick or not feeling good or in the hospital. I actually had a story to tell, and I had a kid that was a few months old. His mom came to me. He had been in the hospital for, I believe, a week with RSV. They gave him, steroids. They gave him a lot of different things to keep him alive. And the baby came out of there with a big clot in his radial artery. So blood was not flowing into his hand.
Wow.
Right. That's where the radial artery is. And the mom calls me and she said, "What do I do?" I said, "Take the immunoid. I promise you. You will see." And a couple of weeks later, she went to get an ultrasound done and the clot disappeared.
Wow. That's magical.
The clot just absolutely disappeared. And, I actually happened to see the mom yesterday. And I asked her, I said, "How's your baby doing?" She told me she's so grateful to me that this is such a magical product and she can't believe that this clot is, completely gone. This baby was supposed to be on blood thinners. Okay.
That's crazy.
This baby could have lost his hand. And yes, because think about it. What brings oxygen into a part of the body? The blood. The blood is what carries the oxygen. So if blood is not getting through that artery, what's happening?
Wow.
There's no
It's magical.
right?
Every single family should be having this.
Yeah, I agree. It should be. And that's what we're actually working on a lot. We are working to get this product out into every single pharmacy out there and make it accessible, to put it into doctors' offices, because I think that pediatricians and doctors should be having this in their practice to be able to sell to their patients.
100%.
Because their patients are suffering. They come in, "I have the flu, I have COVID," and doctors have nothing to give them.
Right.
They put them on Tamiflu, which has so many side effects. I've heard people that have been on Tamiflu that had suicidal thoughts, that almost committed suicide. So the fact that you can give this product and somebody can feel good within a couple of hours.
That's crazy.
You know?
Right. 100%.
It needs to, it
Right.
needs to be known.
Of
Don't you
course,
agree?
Of course.
People need to have this in their, you
course.
know, in their closets, in their fridges.
course.
So,
100%.
and it lasts for
I think I purchased it a few months ago and I still have it. And every time my kids are sick or they're feeling sick, like you mentioned, they give it to them. They're happy. And then you gave me something for my son because he bites his nails.
Parasite.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. And that was good. And then there's once that even I was sick and I normally go to the doctor. I mean, I normally go to the hospital. So there are times that I personally went to the hospital years ago, and it was such a waste of time. By the time they checked me in, by the time the nurse sees me, and by the time I get discharged, so annoying. You gave me this ginger. Tell me more about this ginger. And I drank it 3 times, like you mentioned, with hot water, I think, and honey. And I was totally fine by the 3rd time. Personally, like I did that myself.
I offer this ginger to a lot of people, but not a lot of people really, they think that it's the same ginger that they, you know.
It's not. Yeah.
It's really, it's very potent. It's very potent. And what it does is it has all of the goodies of the ginger in it that has been soaked in it for months. And
wow.
It gives you all that at once.
It's magical.
Right?
It was magical for me. And I was like, oh my God, I don't need to waste my time going to the hospital. I took that. Exactly. Or throwing up. It stopped immediately. And I was able to work, even though I was sick. I was able to work and feel good and within like a day or so, like a few hours.
Yeah, I personally use it for my kids. You know, anytime that they tell me their stomach hurts or anything, I automatically put it into a little bit, like a little cup, and I put a little bit of honey in there. I mix it and I let them eat it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you told me.
And it's gone. Like nothing ever happened.
Magic.
There's no throwing up. There's no diarrhea. Oh my God. Poor people, what they suffer with. And this, you know, the sad part is it's the domino effect, right? Most people have 3, 4, 5 kids.
Right.
And then one person, especially with something like a stomach bug, one person gets it, and then
everybody else gets it. Oh my God, the whole family's in bed.
It's an ongoing effect.
Right.
So I think that there are, you know what, I'm actually planning to do a little bit of like, it's maybe a kit that I can give.
Perfect.
Because I was thinking the other day, my son came down with strep and I had the strep gone within 3 hours.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
And I know it's strep because I looked in his mouth, everything was white. Everything was just absolutely, it was bad. He had a fever. I gave him the remedies that I have at home for strep detox. I gave him my immunoaid.
Wow.
His immune system to kill that bacteria. And the strep, the fever was gone in 3 hours.
Wow.
The strep.
That's incredible.
The next day.
Magical.
The same day, he was like, oh, Mom, my throat's feeling better. The next morning he woke up, there was nothing.
Wow.
In his throat, all the whiteness was gone. I will tell you myself, Rachel, when I was younger and I did not know about these things, I had strep. I was in bed for 10 days.
Wow.
I took antibiotic. I took Augmentin for 10 days and nothing helped me. I ended up going to the hospital and they ended up giving me dexamethasone for that inflammation. Until I had that dexamethasone, I did not, like my throat did not release. That's how bad strep is. And I know so many people that come to me that have chronic strep. They always have strep every 2-3 months. They're suffering with strep. And what do they get? Antibiotic.
Wow. Right. I know.
Every single time.
Yep.
What does this antibiotic do?
Right.
It just kills the big onslaught of strep, that initial part. And then again, a little bit is left in the crevice. As soon as the immune system falls, this opportunistic bacteria just comes back. Wow. And a lot of people are struggling with that, with strep, with things like chronic UTIs, right? So I was thinking, I have all of these things to just give my son right away to get him back on his feet.
Right.
What if every single family had that? What if every single family had a kit, right, of things that they can just put their kids right on their feet right away? How amazing would that be?
They would be amazing. I think that's a genius idea and you should do it. Every single family worldwide needs to have a mini kit. If they have this, then you could give them a consultation. Then give this. If they have strep,
they don't even need a consultation. Like they need to just buy everything and have it all in their home in case anything. Because a lot of times by the time people are when people get sick, a lot of times by the time they come to me,
Exactly.
by the time they can drive out, by the time, they're sitting home with their sick child,
Right.
by the time their husband can come to me or vice versa, right?
Right.
A lot of times things exacerbate, they get
Right.
worse. But what if they had all of this in their
home?
Yes. In
Right. Like a wellness closet.
Exactly. And they could administer, because think about it. What do people have in their homes? They have Tylenol, they have Motrin, they have Zyrtec, right?
Yeah.
They have the Benadryl.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that. Yep.
They have everything that they need. Some people have inhalers, right? Some people have EpiPens. They have everything they need in that drawer.
That's all toxic.
That's all toxic
medication.
Exactly. I'm not knocking on it. Sometimes you need it.
Right.
You need it. You need it.
Right.
But what if they had this the same way in their, little pharmacy closet, call it, right? That they can automatically just take a give and know that everything is fine.
Right.
Everything is gone.
The healthy, natural way.
Yeah, the healthy, natural way for the body to reset, the body to let go of the toxins. Right. For there to be zero side effects.
Exactly. That's genius. Right? That's genius. You need to be doing that, because every family needs it, versus wasting 10 days and like being in bed and in the hospital. Who has time for that? Yeah. That's crazy. And it's painful. Exactly.
And our time is so valuable, because time is flying these days. You feel that way? I feel like I just had my baby 3 months ago.
That's crazy.
I cannot believe he's 3 months already.
Wow.
Going.
I know.
Right?
I'm just time. Same thing with me. There's like not enough time. Always in a rush. Always like going.
My days just go like this. And I think time is going by so fast. Time is becoming more and more valuable. And we have these remedies. Why not use them? Right.
100%.
Why not save our time?
I feel like the older we get too, like time is becoming more expensive. Yeah. And we don't have the time to waste and just to waste on these multiple on just different things. I'm so intentional about every little thing that I do. I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time on that. Or even text messages. I have like 1,045 texts that I need to respond to. I need an assistant, but there's just not enough time.
Assistants. You need a personal assistant.
Exactly. Right.
Running behind you.
A personal assistant next to me, because I can't delegate text messages, and I don't have the time to respond. And but I'm going to hire somebody. I'm going to hire a local assistant soon.
It's not easy being a boss lady like you.
It's just very overwhelming.
You're amazing. You're so inspirational to so many women. I mean, what you do, a lot of people have such limited beliefs. They think, oh, I'm just an accountant. You took it to the next level. To the next level. What you do, and going into the niche market with dentists, I think that's really amazing, because there are so many struggling. Because dentistry, really, if you think about it, is a fee for service kind of field, right? There's a lot of, even if they do take Medicaid or whatever, a lot of times Medicaid doesn't cover a lot of things. And so a lot of it is really fee for service, and a lot of it is cash based, right? And poor dentists are paying so much in taxes, because they have these limited beliefs also that I'm making money, I have to pay now.
Right, exactly. Right? I had a client last week that came to us, and he's at $2 million a year. Net profit is approximately $500,000 to $600,000, and he had a dental CPA. That's the craziest part. I'm like, what? Like, the CPA firm is, I don't want to mention their name, of course, but it was like dental related, right? And I'm like, okay. And then I said, did they give you any specific tax planning strategies to reduce your liability? He goes, no, they just said you're making all this money, so now you need to pay this liability, $500,000. And this dental practice, they're a young couple, so they don't know a lot. And I mean, they're not really familiar with a lot of the tax laws. And
many dentists are not, by the way. We don't get taught any of this in school.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
None of that.
That's crazy. Yeah. So he's like, I don't know. The dental CPA said that I'm making a lot of money and I have to pay the taxes. And I'm like, no, there are specific strategies. We helped the dentist last year save $1.4 million in taxes. And then we helped another dentist who sold a few of his practices. We helped him save $618,000 in taxes.
You're incredible. You helped me, and I'm not even working.
Right. You're so cute. Thank you.
Once we get into the dental practice,
I will help you save a lot, and you're just going to reinvest it and help other people, so you can have a bigger impact instead of throwing that money to the IRS and just donating it because it goes nowhere. You could reinvest it into making more of these, or helping people that can't afford your services, and giving back to the world.
Yeah, that's really important. Giving back, and at the end of the day, it's all his money anyway.
Exactly.
Creator, he gives
100%.
he gives us this money to help others. And I think that the fact that we have our health, right? That's the most important thing.
Biggest blessing.
We have that, and we are able to make money because we have our health.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. 100%.
We definitely owe it back to these people to help out.
Yep.
And you know what? I think it took me so long to really understand two things. It's the two things that I always hear a lot of different people say, a lot of different millionaires, billionaires say is the more value you give, the more money you can make.
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
That's number one. You always wonder, like, how can I give value? How can I provide value? The truth is that if you seek to provide value, you will find a way to.
I agree with that. Yep.
And then I think that it's really important to just give back.
Right. 100%.
Right.
I want to share something. So years ago, my son, he was in his terrible twos, and I was pregnant with my second child. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but I gave birth and I was 70 pounds.
Yeah, you told me.
Right. I was really sick. So during my pregnancy, I was so I was dying to grow my business. Okay. I was like, oh my God, I have to grow. And I was pregnant. I was like, this is not going to stop me from growing my business.
Nothing will stop you.
I'm telling you. Okay. So I have a crazy, like my son is like going crazy. Right. And I have the IV. So I couldn't eat for 9 months. Okay. And you said health as well. So I couldn't eat for 9 months, and I had the IV stuck here, and I'm writing my goals and my entire plan with my right hand. And every day, because I couldn't eat, I had to go to the doctor to get my vitamins for the day. So for the entire 9 months, I was at the doctor for like maybe 4 or 5 hours a day because I needed to live. So,
When you're still working, then
I brought all my books with me. Even I couldn't drink. I was sucking on ice. I couldn't take anything because after that I had esophagus surgery.
In your esophagus, so it's called achalasia, right?
Exactly. Yes, I couldn't eat for 9 months, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to be working. So you know when they, I guess, poke you, there's like bruises. And they're like, no, we need to use this hand. I'm like, please don't use this hand. I need to write on my right hand. I'm like, just poke me here, poke me somewhere, anywhere. Exactly. Do it anywhere. Like, okay, fine. I'll do it here. I'll do it in the neck. One time they wanted. I'm like, just don't touch my right hand because I want to work. And they thought I was crazy. They thought I was like, oh my God, Rachel's going to come in and work. And I'm like, yo, nothing is going to stop me. So it was so hard to not have health and to build a business from the doctor's office. It was just crazy. And I had to be in the hospital one time because my potassium was low overnight. It's like, you know what? This is perfect. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to go to the hospital, sleep, get my vitamins. I can wake up the next day at work. It was just crazy. But health and wealth really goes together. If you don't have, the health, then you can't produce and do well and give back to your family, your spouse, your parents.
People that come to me that they lost their health because they were running after the wealth. I have so many people, my parents are one of them. My parents, they were immigrants, right? And so they really did not take care of their health. My mom she worked 3 jobs, 4 jobs as a nurse. She always tried to, bring a bigger income into the house. I think that's where I get my, my work ethic from, both my parents. But really, like my mom, she was diagnosed with polycythemia vera a few years ago now, 3 years ago. And she plummeted. Her energy fell. She had to retire. And I'm grateful because I was able to help her. Her blood results came back absolutely perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that a lot of people, they run after their wealth, right? They run after building something, and they sacrifice. And I'm not saying you shouldn't sacrifice. There are sacrifices to be made when you're trying to grow and build, right? The sacrifices we make of not being able to see our children sometimes, right? And having a nanny at home and all that. Those are sacrifices, yes, but you should not be sacrificing your health for wealth. You should be thinking about your health simultaneously.
Exactly.
Because if you think that you're going to get to that end goal and you are going to retain your health if you're not focused on it, right? What does Jim Rohn always say? He always says that whatever you study, whatever you focus, that is what you're going to have in your life. So a lot of people think money, 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 but they're not considering the fact that, they're not a machine.
Right. Exactly. We are a vehicle.
Right.
Yep.
This is the only vehicle. And I get that from my husband. He's a physical therapist, right? You know Jack very well.
Yeah.
So
I do.
He actually is a big part of my wellness practice.
He's amazing.
Yeah. So
I love the partnership that you guys have. It's absolutely inspiring, and it's
none of this would be possible without him. Thank you so much.
He's amazing.
Yeah. So this is our only vehicle. Like, we're never going to be able to get another one. So we really have to respect it and love it, because by the time we achieve that wealth, if we don't, we're not going to have that energy to use it, to enjoy it, to spend it. Right. And it's really all about, a lot of people, they think it's about money. Money is only a tool. Right. It's about building the proper lifestyle along with that wealth. So when you have, when you're building that wealth, you also have to think about your health, because,
and meanwhile,
exactly.
Yep.
And think about that time spending with your children and growing your family. It all has to go hand in hand. And I really love that about you. I think that's why we really get along. We have a lot in common.
We do.
We're not just businesswomen, right? We're not just professionals. We have families. We have kids. We focus on, we're very multidimensional, which I love about you. I mean, I don't see that in a lot of women, and you really inspire me a lot.
Thank you.
We're, like I said, we're multidimensional. We're very balanced. And I love that about you. I call you and you're like, I'm spending time with my family. I'm spending time with my kids.
That's really important to me.
My kids out. I'm going here and I'm going there. And you would think that a woman like you, right, that's making so much money is not able to do that. But
no,
I always
tell important. Yeah.
I always tell my husband, and sometimes the lines get really blurred, right, that we are building a certain life to have a lifestyle and not to sacrifice that lifestyle for the money.
Right.
The money is coming in so that we
Exactly.
have a certain lifestyle and the ability to spend that time with our kids, the ability to take off when we need to, and the ability to be human.
Exactly.
Right?
And to be there for your children. Like, I will never miss a basketball game, or, that even if it's a dumb event, like they're doing a bag for Mother's Day, I'm going to be there. I'll cancel all my meetings and I will be there, and I will not be on my phone like some parents will, answering emails. I will be there coloring the bag with my baby, and people will look at me like, Rachel, you have a big business. Yes. But when I'm with my child, I'm with my child. And if I need to be there at his basketball game on Sunday at 5:30, because he loves basketball, I will be there watching him and supporting him, because he needs to remember that. I want to make sure that he has that positivity and the confidence to be the children that they need to, the adults that they will be, because of the little, support that we're giving them when they're little.
Right. And I think that's what really drives women such as you and I to do what we do, because we want to build that lifestyle. Our kids, they drive us.
Yep.
A lot of people tell me, how do you do it? You have 4 kids. How do you do this? I don't know how you have time to do this. I don't know how you have time to do that. Number one, I'll say, yes, it's true. You have to have a very, very big support system.
Right.
You cannot do without that. I mean, you have an extremely supportive husband.
I do.
And I have an extremely supportive husband. We would not be able to do what we do without their help and their ability to hire us help as well, right?
Yeah, full-time nannies, everything to help.
But I think that, a lot of it has to do with the fact that your kids, they drive you. You want to be better for them, and then you want them to be even better than you.
Yes, I do. I tell my kids, please do what I did, like everything that I did at, like, let's say my age, do it at half the age. Like, I dare you. I'll bet on you. I'll give you all the resources and all the conferences and the roadmap that you need to be, so you could be even more successful than me at a much younger age.
Right.
And that's how I know that I'm a good mom, because I just want them to be so successful. And you know what it is? If we give them that mindset with confidence, right? And then we are the lions, that we're going after everything and they're watching us. My kids, you could tell them they can't do something, they're going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
Even my 9-year-old, he knows that he could do anything. He was telling me a story. He's like, Mom, there was a raffle in school, and he tells his friends, watch me get that basketball. He just told me this story. And I'm like, really? He says, like, Mom, you taught me positive thinking and how to get everything you want from your mind. So he makes a bet with all his friends. He's like, watch me get that basketball. All of a sudden, they call his name. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, Jacob, they called your name. I'm like, you're going to be on my podcast. You're going to share the story.
Manifestation 101.
Exactly. It's like, Mom, I'm telling you. And that's what we could give our kids, going after what they want, being positive, supporting them. And, I have a baby. I have a 1-year-old and you have a baby. I can't be away from him.
19-year-old.
Exactly. Right. I know. And him, like,
you're still amazing.
Thank you. Just supporting them so they could build businesses at an older age. So it's just super important to me.
Right. No, I mean, my parents really did that for me. My parents, they, like I said, they were immigrants. They worked really hard. And my mom, she came to America with like no English, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she was a nurse back in her country.
Mm-hmm.
And she came here and she said, you know what, I'm not going to look at anything. I'm going to go to school. She already had my sister at the time, and then she got pregnant with me.
Wow.
Actually, yeah, she got pregnant with me. And then she had my brother too.
Mm-hmm.
All within that nursing school.
Wow. Wow.
And she always told me, if I could finish nursing school with 3 kids,
Mm-hmm.
and I can do it with zero English, I only know Russian,
Mm-hmm.
then you could do much better than me. You are not meant to be a nurse. You are not meant. And you know what? In a way, it kind of set me back a little bit in life, because I always felt like, oh, I have to be better. I have to be a doctor. I have to be this. I have to be that. And it did manifest.
Right.
I think a lot due to my mom. But I also think that, I think that what we instill in our kids is so important. And I tell my kids every day, you're going to be a billionaire. You're going to be a billionaire.
That's right.
You are a billionaire. You guys are billionaires. I tell them that all the time, because I want them to know that if we can achieve what we achieved,
that's right.
Can do
exactly. Better. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
They must. They must.
Beautiful.
It's not even a maybe.
Exactly. It's a guarantee. Like, just do it. It's being successful is not hard. You just need to do the consistent things. And it's a specific, just like you're cooking.
It's science.
Right.
Really.
Exactly. Just do the same thing. Be consistent at it. Don't give up. And you'll get to it. You'll eventually get to where you want to be. And I believe that.
And a lot of it is using God power. I love that David Game says that, because to me, that's always number one. A lot of people. So I have a WhatsApp chat. I did not touch on that, but I have a WhatsApp chat. I actually have 2 at this point, which is really run a lot by my husband. He's doing a lot of the.
I love it.
Running of the WhatsApp chat, because I'm so busy seeing my clients and responding to them on separate messages,
private messages.
Right.
I've seen it.
This WhatsApp chat, it's really about helping a lot of people and giving people the ability to ask their questions without worrying that, that they're not going to catch a doctor, or because if there is something really important that needs to be answered, trust me, I know, like, tell me, give it to me. I mean, tell me what you want to say to this person, make sure to answer them. They're counting on you. So, or I'll always ask them to direct message me.
Right. It was like serious. Yeah.
Right. So on this WhatsApp chat, what I think is really important is that people feel like they are getting everything they need for their health.
You're giving them a lot of value there.
Right.
I think every single person should be in this WhatsApp channel, because who in the world will give free doctor advice? Like, medical advice? Who would give that? Like, you're giving them so much value for free. You should be charging people to be in this WhatsApp group. Like, seriously. It's a lot of time.
It is, but you know what? That's kind of what we're building on. We really want to give people that ability to feel free to be healthy.
Right.
Because health has become such a mixed bag, right? Of what's right, what's wrong, what's this, what's that. And not that I'm giving anyone medical advice, right? These are just my recommendations.
Right, but you're a doctor. Like, there are people out there that give medical advice, and they're nurses, or I don't know, or they're like medical assistants, but you have the exact credentials. I remember you even telling me that you had an amazing mentor that supported you throughout your journey, and you took the classes, the detail.
We still do.
Right. Right. Courses, you never stop growing, which is why you're so good at what you do. Because like you said earlier, most doctors, they went to medical school and they don't do their continuing education. And to be honest with you, most accountants are very similar, which is why I think we're both successful, because we don't stop learning and right. Exactly. Never stop learning. That's right. And that's how we're able to help more people. And I think every single person that's listening should be in your WhatsApp channel, because I mean, it's just free advice. It's good advice. You tell them what's good. And I actually see so many positive reviews and testimonials that people are sharing. You helped my sister-in-law with I think my sister, my sister, I think they had she had what was it called? Like bad skin or something? I don't know what it was. Like
I'm not
dry skin. Yeah, I don't know. But she told me, yeah, exactly. But I mean,
I'm asking her permission, but
right. But I'm sure she's okay with, like, she told me that how you helped her, and she went to so many doctors and they weren't able to help her with this specific thing.
Right.
And she was just so grateful. We were having dinner and she was just saying, "Oh my God, Rachel, your friend, Dr. Frida, is incredible." And, she was just so happy. So just don't give up, and you should just go out there and help so many people. Everyone needs your Immunaid.
Thank you.
I really envision myself like every single person here should have it, because health is the new wealth.
Yeah, health is definitely important. So tell me, what is your big dream and goal with this dental? I know you're really getting really niched with the dental field. So tell me what your whole plan is in that sense.
So I really want to help dentists save millions of dollars in taxes, because they're so good at what they do. And I talked to a lot of, like, they're such good people, but
they're not businessmen.
Exactly. But they're not businessmen. Like, how do you not know this? Like, and I don't mean it from a judgmental place, because I don't want to judge anyone.
Right.
I want to help them, and they don't know any better. So my plan is to, to help to niche down just to dentists, which is why I created this company called Practice Wealth Partners. And we just, work with a lot of dentists, and our goal this year is to go out to serve at least 150 to 200 dentists, where we do their, bookkeeping, their payroll, their taxes. I recently had a dentist come to me, and his payroll was $500,000. He was overpaying it by overpaying in payroll taxes, because he just thought, oh, my accountant said I should be paying myself $500,000. I guess that's what my accountant said, I should be doing that. And I said, absolutely not. You're overpaying yourself. Let's reduce your salary. And we were able to help him save like close to $45,000 to $50,000 a year. And eventually that could be an investment property. You're saving that money, and you could work less, and you could be with your children and do so much more.
You deserve that money. You work so hard for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should definitely pay the government, right? You should pay your taxes. But you
don't need to tip them.
No.
Right, exactly. You don't need to tip them.
I've never heard of it.
Yes, like don't tip the IRS. Like you don't benefit. Even the IRS makes fun of it. Like they made, the tax code is so complicated, but they made it for us so we could learn the law and use it so they could, save money on taxes. There's so many things that people could do, so many legal strategies that the IRS approves, but a lot of accountants just don't know. Because to be honest with you, I went to school for 4 years, I have an accounting degree. Then I have my license by the IRS. I'm a licensed enrolled agent. I'm a federal tax practitioner.
That's coming up for them so quickly.
All right. But I guess so. You're so funny. But at the same time, like, we didn't learn this in school. I learned everything. All these
never learned all these things.
Nothing. What about the loans, the student loans? A lot of my clients don't. Exactly. Not only, I've seen 600,000 with interest, 700,000. It's crazy.
Right. And then they get robbed in taxes.
Exactly.
And they have no idea.
Right.
I spoke to a young dentist yesterday, and this young dentist is doing her own startup also. And I just said to her right away, listen, I have this friend, make sure you contact her, right? Because you want to be able to save money before you even start making it. Like you said, tax planning, right?
Exactly. From day one.
You want to know where you can save, because by the time you have already made it, it's too late.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
because you're
a lot of people come to us like 10 years later, like, yo, you just paid the government like over $1 million in taxes. You can't go back to 10 years.
Right.
It's impossible. You've already wasted that
I don't
money.
think people understand how important accounting and taxes are until they become a business,
Right.
like a big business where
Yes.
they're making money and they're showing it, and then they have to pay so much in taxes.
Right.
I don't think they understand how important it is. And it usually goes by like 3-4 years.
It's true.
Even until they even get it.
It's
Oh
true.
my God, I am paying so much in taxes.
It's so true.
Right.
Yep.
And then
you're sick of it.
And then at that time, you know, when you already figure it out, then you look back and you're like, I was so stupid.
Exactly.
How much did I pay? Why didn't I know about this sooner? But, you know,
that's why I'm bringing awareness. Like, there are ways that you could save. It has to be done before the year ends. And you need to be proactive, like you said, with your health. You don't want to wait until you're sick and you're chronic. You got to be proactive with your health. And so you're healthier and you become healthy, and then proactive with your finances. So you're not overpaying in taxes, and then you're not in big trouble with IRS audits, or you're not getting thousands of letters from the IRS. You have to be proactive in health and wealth. It's so important.
Right. That's why, you know, there's tax planning. I think it would actually be smart to say like health planning. You have to plan for your health. You have to plan to do the things
to be healthy. Right. Jim Rohn says, if you want to be successful, have a plan. If you want to be rich, have a plan. If you want, like, you have to have a plan. Exactly. Yeah. If you don't have a plan, then what are you doing?
Exactly.
Have a plan for everything. Have a plan for your children. Have a plan for your life. You know, plan everything out. So you're living your life by intention, and you're not just, like Jim Rohn says, you're not going to walk in the park and land anywhere. Like, I don't know if you ever heard him say that. You don't want to go to the park and just be anywhere. No, you need to be intentional.
There has to be a direction.
Exactly.
He also says, before you build a building, before you build anything, you have to finish it.
Right. And have a foundation.
You have to really know what it is you're actually doing.
He says that in your mind, though. He said Walt Disney, knew what he wanted in his mind.
Exactly.
And then he built it. Yeah, that's true.
You have to first know. And I think that having you on board, right? You call yourself a fractional CFO?
Yeah, fractional CFO. Because we do bookkeeping, payroll, we do everything for the dentist.
Having you is such an asset because like you said, they can reach you or your team at any time. And knowing, like sometimes I have questions, and having somebody to reach out to and ask those things, it's such a peace of mind. Because unfortunately, you know, like, I'm really delved into health. I can't also be like sitting there and listening about taxes.
Right.
That's why you have to have a professional in your life that can actually help you with those things.
Exactly.
And same with you. You're like, I don't know anything about health.
I don't.
Give me what
I go to you, and that's it. Exactly.
Right. You do all of your, you do all of your learning and all of your knowledge, and I do all of mine. Right. So it's so amazing to have a professional in my life that I can lean on. And
same with me, and someone that I trust, because I haven't really trusted a doctor. I feel like they were always pushing me things that I didn't need. But it gave me such peace of mind that you were able to review my blood work and give me specific things that help me. And I feel so much better, which is why I go to the gym every day. I go, I do my meditation. I feel good. And that's how I'm able to be a better person.
Snowball effect, right? You feel better. Now you're going to the gym, which makes you feel even better.
Exactly.
You're taking care of yourself. Yep. You're looking good, which makes you feel even better.
Yes, I love it.
Like a snowball effect. But when I get so many calls, people are constantly getting sick. Like over this winter, people are coming to me saying they've had it all. COVID, they've had flu A, they've had flu B, they've had this virus and RSV, and they've ended up in the hospital. And sometimes I forget how sick people can get, because in my family, when I give them the Immunoate, I don't even know what that is. Thank God. Like, knock on wood. I want to knock on some wood here.
Right. You're so cute.
I mean, I give them this Immunoate or whatever else they need, right? Like a viral detox if I know it's the flu, or if I give them the bacterial drainage if I know it's like the strep or whatever. And then I don't have to stress about it. Like, don't have to worry about it like that. I don't even know if they brought home COVID or the flu, because giving them the Immunoate, it was always just like a sniffle, right? So like, it was not even anything serious.
Also, like, think about, I became so much happier Like I'm just a happier person because now
biochemistry.
Yeah, exactly. It just feels good. I drink the vitamins, I go to the gym, I go to the sauna, I'm able to go. Nothing stops me. There's no blockage of me working.
Sleeping better.
I am sleeping a lot better. It just everything. And again, I'm flowing to my kids. Like I'm able to pay attention to them and give them more, because before it was just exhausting just to listen to all their complaints and everything. Now I'm giving them my all, and it's just
you have
happier. Exactly.
Clarity.
And it feels good.
And magnesium will really do that for you. I know
right. You gave it to me. I was like, just whatever Frida says, do it. That's it.
Yeah. So many people, they love magnesium. Once they start it, they feel like such a much happier person.
I feel that.
The things that what these things do in your body, right? Just these minerals, vitamins, amino acids, people don't take them seriously because they think like, oh, it's just a mineral. Oh, it's just a vitamin. Oh, but the things they do, magnesium does over 300 things in your body.
Wow.
Did you know that?
That's magical.
So the fact that when people are
I feel it. I don't know what it does, but I feel it.
When people are deficient in it, imagine how many, and then people say, why am I not able to lose weight? Why am I feeling so sluggish? Why am I feeling, well, because you don't have enough of this mineral. This mineral is what makes your metabolism go. This mineral is what lets you access your energy, your ATP, right?
Right.
This mineral is what lets you create certain neurotransmitters in your brain so that you can feel good.
Right.
And clean your mind. So yeah, these things are so important, and they're so minimal, and they're so easy to take, and they can stop you from taking 5, 6, 7, 8 medications down the line in your life.
Wow.
And what's interesting is, like I said before, some people are so afraid to take supplements, but these supplements, right? Even if you're taking 8 of them and you're taking the purest quality, that's so important. Not anything synthetic that your liver really has to work with. But if you're taking even 8 supplements, it's better than taking one medication.
Right.
One medication will cause you 30, 40 side effects, while, taking supplements will actually take away all those side effects.
Wow.
Yeah.
Telling you, I see you're educating me, and I'm like, oh my God, I never knew these things. And I think once people understand the ROI of taking these, because everything is like ROI, right? Like the supplements that people take, they could make more money and live a better life.
And that's why someone like Tony Robbins is doing Life Force, right? Because he understands how health is so intricately entwined with wealth.
Right.
And same thing with, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was doing Herbalife, right? He was always talking about take your vitamins, take your, longevity, do this, do that. Even, Grant Cardone went into 10X Health.
Yes.
Why? Because they understand that without their health, they're nobody.
Exactly. 100%.
And their money means nothing. Because at the end of the day, you cannot buy your health.
Right.
So health plan.
Exactly. Yep. That's right.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course, you're so welcome. And I'm so excited that you were able to give so much value to our audience. And this is just an amazing, I had an amazing time with you. This was a lot of fun. It wasn't even like work or anything. It was a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun talking to you. I always have such an amazing time talking to you. Anytime I need like that boost of energy, because there are sometimes fluctuations when certain things, like certain doubts creep in or whatever. I always seek you out.
I do the same for you. I feel like we give the drive to one another, because there are not that many women out there, unfortunately, that are so driven, and we need to make that change.
Right.
We really need to, inspire other women so they could be boss ladies at the same time, having small children, and and really.
There are no limits. We have to stop having those limited beliefs. Right.
Exactly. And we're the perfect example. You could be really successful, a multi-million-dollar woman, boss lady, and have lots of children and not be exhausted or drained and look good and do more for the world and impact everyone and give.
100%.
Yeah. So this is a lot of fun. I love it.
We should do it again sometime.
Yes, exactly.